So a couple of weeks back, I put out a video on how this quarantine situation is going to be affecting anxiety, depression, and suicide. And the response I got was absolutely overwhelming. There were people writing me with heartfelt personal stories, and it was just very, very moving, and it compelled me to create a video on a topic that I think is even more of a silent pandemic than suicide, anxiety, and depression, and that is substance abuse. Nobody really talks about it too much, but just to highlight how huge of an issue this is just in America, 20 million Americans in 2017 suffered from a substance abuse disorder. Of those, 1 in 5 were adolescents. 18 to 25-year-olds are the most prone, and according to the CDC, 128 people die every single day to an opioid overdose. That's bananas. If we counted every single person that's overdosing on opioids and we're sharing and talking about it just like what's going on with coronavirus, we would make heavy inroads into solving the issue. But we don't do that. They say addiction is maintained. It's not really cured. And this isolation is forcing a lot of people that suffer with substance abuse and are in recovery to have a huge urge to slip back into their old destructive ways. More than 85% of those who sought treatment relapse within the same year. So the people that seek treatment for substance abuse, 85% of those are using drugs again that same year. So our system is broken, and the support that they're getting is not ideal without all of this that's going on in our society. But especially today, this is a very, very tricky situation for a lot of people. So right now, there's 6.5 million Americans filing for unemployment, and alcohol sales are up 55%. That is not a good combination. I'm based out of North Jersey, and for those that don't know, New Jersey is the most densely populated state in America, and we're right next to New York City, which is the most densely populated city. So it's no wonder that coronavirus is hitting this area so hard. But what you also don't know is there's huge epidemic of heroin use in North Jersey. And what's really interesting is that the affluent suburban areas are more susceptible to having these heroin and opioid problems than even impoverished cities around. One of the theories for why this area is hit so hard with the opioid epidemic is that people are just restless and bored, especially high school kids, young adults. They're looking to escape the mundane. Former and current addicts fight an internal war every single day, and it's times like these that they could really slip up and lose a battle and easily end up a statistic. And we have to be mindful of that. And I hope the people that know others that have struggled from substance abuse in the past, or just know that someone's going through a rough time, that we're reaching out to them and we're listening to them, and we're just letting them know that we're there for them if they want to go for a walk with 6 feet apart distance, or just give them a video call. Zoom, Skype, WhatsApp is a good option nowadays, and just have a chat with them, check in, see how they are, smile about certain things, laugh about certain things, ask them about how their loved ones are doing through it, and be honest. Be honest with others about how this is affecting you, because especially with men, I feel we tend to put on this facade that we're really, really strong and we never have anxiety and we never struggle and we don't have vices, and that's just incorrect. Everyone, absolutely everyone, has some internal struggles and external struggles. And some people have an easier time dealing with it and others don't. And I think if we're open about the fact that we're all struggling in some way, and even sometimes sharing that with others that are struggling, it's helpful because it lets people know they're not alone. Sometimes loneliness is not just about being confined to an area with no friends and loved ones around. It's about experiencing things and feeling like you're the only one that's experiencing that, and everyone else is normal, and everyone else has these great lives. And a lot of this is exacerbated by social media. We post the greatest version of ourselves. I'm guilty of this as well. We choose the photos where we look amazing. We paint our lives to be almost like these celebrity lives, and that's not the reality. And I don't think it's healthy, and I think it's important to just tell people and talk about real life, because then those people that are struggling, there's some form of solidarity, and they feel like, oh, they're not alone, we're all in this together. And if you feel like you're in it together, it's that much easier to feel like you're gonna get out of all this together. And if you're down in the dumps emotionally, if you're depressed, if you feel like the urge that you're gonna use again, you can reach out to someone. And if you see that, oh, everyone is going through a struggle right now, it doesn't feel as lonely, and that camaraderie might help someone and prevent someone from using. I want to recommend a few coping strategies for those that are prone to substance abuse. And I want to preface it by saying that I'm not a substance abuse counselor or anything, but again, I've seen these hardships and these struggles in a lot of loved ones, unfortunately. And I've learned what works and doesn't work for them, and just wanted to pass along some helpful advice. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, if it's been helpful to you, or if you have other ideas, please mention them in the comments section, and we can kind of all work off this video. One, to know what helps people that are going through this, and the other for people like me, so I can know what to recommend and what to say and how to help those that are struggling from it. One of the ways that I was thinking is support groups are very, very helpful to a lot of people. I mean, we all know of AA, and right now they're not very accessible because you can't be in close quarters with other people. But I did research, and I saw online that there's a lot of online support groups. And also, if you've been to these groups in the past, you can always reach out to someone, give them a call. Like I said, video chats are great. And just, it's a good time to lean on people right now. Sometimes people think that they're a nuisance, or they're just bothering other people, or they don't want to annoy people with their problems. But I feel like so many of us are leading lives these days that lack meaning and lack fulfillment. And I could tell you personally that when other people reach out to me and they share a personal issue or problem, and I'm able to give them some advice, or just listen, or just be there for them, it's one of the most rewarding things, and it brings meaning and color to my life. And I think a lot of people feel that way. And I don't want you to think, if you're having a tough time, that if you reach out to someone, you're bothering them. What you're actually doing is you're helping them help you. And in return, they're going to feel good about it. You're going to feel good about the fact that you have a true friend, a true loved one, someone that can help in times of need. And they're going to feel good because they helped. And that's what this life's about. It's about being helpful to others. It's about having a purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. So if you know of someone, if you want to reach out, I'm telling you, please reach out, and you're not bothering anyone with your issues. The other recommendation is exercise. This is something I know about. I've worked as a personal trainer, corrective exercise specialist for nearly 8 years. It was my first real job as an adult. And I'm a big proponent of exercise. I think it's so healthy to just sweat it out and to just have hard workouts that make you sweat for like 30 minutes. I mean, you're triggering all these endorphins that are going to make you feel better. You're waking up your body. You're taking all that attention and angst out from the mind, and you're spreading it through the body, and you're detoxing thoughts, you're detoxing toxins. And it's a very, very healthy thing. And also, the beautiful thing about it is when you exercise and you are proud of yourself because you did something healthy for you. You are working towards a certain aesthetic goal or health goal. And with more times that you exercise, you're going to build self-love. You're going to build self-worth because you're doing something that's for you, that's healthy, and you're going to be proud of yourself. And it's not to say that you have to become Lance Armstrong and work out every single day, twice a day, but having a consistent exercise regimen throughout the week is super, super helpful, especially during these times. I mean, and you see a lot of people are turning to exercise during this time. Online exercise courses are like through the roof. That's one of the businesses that's booming. And that's because people realize that they're so much happier when they exercise, they feel better about themselves, and they're being productive. They're not just wasting this time, they're bettering their health. This next one I can swear by, and it's something I take very, very seriously in my life, and that is what you allow in. Being super mindful what you allow into your mind. And what I mean by that is you have to surround yourself with the right energy and with positivity. Right now, it's not correct to sit in front of the TV screen and watch CNN and Fox and just look at the statistics of the curve going up and people in body bags outside of hospitals. That is not the correct way to be handling this. Sure, you should be informed, but the majority of your day should be spent getting fresh air, exercising, talking with the people that inspire you, that you love, that make you feel comfortable, that make you feel motivated. Right now is the time to better yourself. It's to work towards you 2.0. You are a very, very powerful person, and your mind dictates that power and that reality that you're going to create for yourself. I know that this is quite a departure from the regular type of videos that I put out, but I just really wanted to get it off my chest. And I know that there's a lot of people struggling and a lot of people hurting out there. And trust me, we're all struggling and hurting in different ways. And we're all in this together. And we can get through it together. And right now, I believe is a very, very pivotal time in our lives. This is a complete pause button on life. And everything's getting shaken up. We're going to come out with a different type of economy. We're going to come out with a different type of attitude and a different type of sense and perspective after all this. I think we're living through history. People are going to go back and they're going to be talking about pre-coronavirus and post-coronavirus world. And it's such a good time to just have a clean slate, to better ourselves, to spend this time. These next couple of weeks, what we do during these weeks can really dictate how we come out on the other side. And right now, I don't care if you were an amazing banker at some bank or someone who's been struggling on the street. Right now, we're all in the same boat. We're all indoors, we're asked not to leave, and once life resumes, we can have a fresh start. And we can really go after whatever it is we want to go after. We have to keep fighting the good fight. We deserve greatness. We deserve everything that we wish for ourselves. But nothing comes easy. You have to fight for things. And you have to be okay with being uncomfortable and having it be hard. You have to have a little bit of grit, and you will get through it. And when we all come out on the other side, we're going to be better for it. We're going to appreciate each other more. We're going to understand the value of life. And we're going to rethink the way that we were leading our lives. I hope this video was helpful. And if anything, I hope that it inspires you or it makes you think about some of the people in your life and ways to better yourself.